Hello, this is Ronnie. We are here on the last day of 2017. As we are looking at 2018, I want to wish everyone looking at this video great trading in 2018, that everything will turn out to be on the right side for you. This time, as you can see, I am going to focus on Bitcoin. Yes, I'm going to have a look at Bitcoin, see what I can make out of the price action up to now, looking through the lenses of the Elliott wave principle. There is nothing definitive about this analysis, okay? We're going to take it easy. If it is useful to anyone watching, then I'll be happy, of course. I'll be also happy to have your comments, what you would wish to see in future videos. I'm not sure at what frequency I'm going to run this update. We'll see as things develop. For those who are not familiar with my service, with my analysis, so just a few sentences here. This is my website. You get to it by typing www.wavemastery.com, and you can read some articles that I have here. And currently, as I'm talking to you, there is a special offer that is running. You can go through either subscribe here to get it, or through the resources right at the bottom, and you can read everything about it. You have any questions, just get in touch with me through Contact Us, and that's about it. Now we're going to plunge into Bitcoin. Here's Bitcoin. That is the price that I get from obviously the website of bitcoin.com. There is another website that I'm going to use while I'm going through this video. Is the one of Bitfinex. Okay, I'm sure that there are many others. I'm really not an expert in Bitcoin. I have missed the boat, as they say. Yes, I did not invest in Bitcoin. Doesn't mean I'm not going to invest now or trade it. But I'm not one of the lucky ones that invested early when Bitcoin was launched. But that doesn't stop us from having a good look. Now, here we go. This is the range of charts that I've prepared. And we go here to the very early days of Bitcoin. You can see here 2009. And this is taken, as you can see, from the website of bitcoin.com. Okay, I just printed some charts. Here I get the whole history. The other website, of course, that can allow you to have this. In short, we are starting from 2009. And I see here the possible wave count. And this logarithmic scale, I must emphasize that logarithmic scale, because with a linear scale, we won't be able to do anything. We just get, you can see it here, basically. You go flat, flat, and then all of a sudden, in 1 or 2 years, it takes off like a rocket, basically going vertical. There's not much that you can do in terms of analysis as far as I'm concerned. Here there is more or less something I can work with. Okay, so we start with almost zero. Okay, staying at a very sleepy mode here for a year and a half or so, then gradually going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiny. So that's your first wave, 1, 2. It looks pretty apparent to me that that should be our first wave. I could be wrong. There is an alternative wave count here that could call for Bitcoin to reach a top soon, and I'll discuss it in a sec. But we're going with my preferred reading at this point. Yes, the preferred wave count. That's 1, 2, that's 3, that's 4, and we climb 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks pretty obvious to me that we have a 5-wave run right here. That looks pretty obvious to me that we have a triangle right here. Okay, and then we have the largest, the longest correction in terms of time. You can see here depth, not so much. Yeah, there was quite a bit of drop here, a substantial, some would say. It popped above 1,000, and that was we got it here. That's January 2014. Okay, it topped at around just above 1,000 in early 2014. It went, and then it drifted lower towards the end of 2015. We have it here at around October, November. Sorry. Of course, I can get the right dates. My point of covering this very long-term history is really get an idea where Bitcoin is going, given its history, entire history up to this moment. Okay, it's very, very important to do that. If we get this right, we read this map right, then it is obviously going to project for us Bitcoin's moves in the years to come. Yes, and we're not talking about just 1 or 2 weeks, we're talking about years to come. So it's absolutely crucial that we invest time to try to get all the insights that we can out of this chart. Okay, so it's really, really important. Pay attention. This is a 1-2. In the current analysis, I take this as a 1-2. It's possible there is an alternative variation here that the two might have ended here. That's not going to change a lot as far as I can see. Whether it ended here or not, I think that the first wave embarking from this area is going to be here. That's going to be my 1-2. Okay, so I have 1-2. If we ended here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That gives me 1-2, and then it begins to take off seriously. Okay, and then it crosses again 1000. It crosses again 1000 in early 2017. According to my chart here, and then I have actually a breakdown, as you can see, and I put it in different colors to help us to distinguish the various 1-2s that open up here. Because for those who are not very familiar, they can get quite confused. I do not think that we have a third wave complete here. Okay, I could be wrong, but my thinking is that we actually have a 1-2. That's 1, that's 2, and then a series of 1, 2, 1, 2, basically going into exponential advance here. Okay, let's now go and see the next chart. That was my first chart that covers the entire history of Bitcoin. Okay, you can see that right here, that is the peak right now. That is a continuation that I drew with a pencil. Yes, what I think would be an ideal continuation here. We will get to see it in a sec in detail. Now, this is our second chart, is going to be here. This is our second chart. And the first thing you should, I hope, notice here, is that there is something missing. What's missing here is the big correction. Because here we are already starting from 2008. I think, yeah, let me see if I can actually highlight that. Yeah, we can highlight it. So you can see this is 2008. Again, the dilemma surfaces whether we have the bottom of our big second wave correction here or here. Let's not dwell on that too much. We just focus on the following price action. That's our 1-2, remember. That's our 1-2. And here's the build up when it gets really interesting. We have a 1-2, 1-2. And then the short and the recent correction, okay, what some people call the crash, etc. Well, it dropped almost from 20,000, went down to 11,500 or something. This is the correction, and you see that this is counted in the wave count, in the big wave count that I have here, as a fourth wave. There is only one alternative that I want you to pay attention to that could play out here, and that is coming up from my 1-2 that is designated here with a green. Yes, with the green brackets, we could actually run from this spot up to here and count all of that as 1, meaning we drop the consideration of the 1-2 in the middle. We just let it drop because that could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll show you this in the next chart. And then we have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, continuing higher. Now, don't be misled by the scale, because remember, this is a logarithmic scale. The higher we go, the moves are going to look to you tiny in preparation, in proportion to what you have here, but nevertheless the price change is enormous. Yes, the price change is enormous. Of course, it's something we have to pay attention to. Let's now go to the next one. The next chart that I've got is right here, and this one I hope you are noticing already. Let me see if I can also highlight. Yeah, we can also do that here. And here we already dropped the previous 1-2 that was designated with that box. You remember the black box? So now we left behind two 1-2s, two 1-2 structures. And that's very important. I'll go back to it at the end of the video. That's 1, that's 2. Now this is the stretched alternative that I suggested. We go with a 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4 5. We have 1 2. That started in July. Let me see. Yeah, I've got it right here. That is showing me July, but I have to now go back to the original. It gives me here just before 2010. Yeah, it's somewhere around January. That's the bottom. So I think what concerns us is to focus on the price action from this spot, because I am reasonably confident that this track, let me show you here, that this right from this spot that comes at just under 6,000, okay, just under 6,000, I am positive 100%. Okay, I'm absolutely confident in my mind that right from here to this spot, to the recent jump that reached almost 20,000, this is a complete 5-wave run. Yes, this is a complete 5-wave run, and I am positive in my mind that this is a corrective phase that when it is over would lead to higher prices in Bitcoin. Yes. Now there is a critical level here that you have to pay attention to, and it's right here. I will get to the precise level, but it's just going under 8,000. We have 6, we have 10,000, 6,000, that's 8,000. That is just under 8,000. It is basically the beginning, I mean the top of the first wave. What Bitcoin should not do in terms of respecting my wave count here, should not come down and touch this level. Basically shouldn't break under 8,000. If it does break under 8,000, Bitcoin is signaling that my wave count is no good, that this consideration here has to be revised. Yes, it will not necessarily mean Bitcoin is going to crash to zero, yeah, but it would mean that the wave count that I'm presenting to you here cannot be used. It's just not correct. We'll have to revise, see, modify, see what is the right thing to do. Now let's go and see the next chart that I prepared for you here. It's right here, and this is the scale, basically focusing on the very recent surge that we have seen, as I told you, when it dipped under 6,000 and it basically went berserk here, went vertical. And here's my 5-wave, 1 2 3 4 5. Right here you see it topped just above almost nearing 20,000, and this is largely my own pencil doing some markings here to if you like, anticipate what I think would be an ideal structure, paving the way for further surge that will take Bitcoin way above 20,000. Okay, so my thinking is that in fact we are now dealing with a fourth wave that is composed of various ABCs that are completing the various legs that eventually, if it is, if Bitcoin is going to deliver, let's say, an idealized fourth wave shape pattern, that's going to be a triangle. Now the bottom of the first drop is at 10,700. And that should be taken as an ABC that will form you A. That's we had another ABC here that reached towards 16,500. That's you B. Went down again, touched 11,600. That's you C. And now we are just coming up. Okay, we will get there. I'll show you the details in a sec. We are now coming up. So ideally, this leg shouldn't really run above 16,500. It should give us ideally 3 legs, A, B, C, like that. Should stall, let's say, at around 16,000 and then go down again and stay above 11,600. It can dip just slightly under 11,600, but ideally we don't want it to break substantially under 11,600. If we get this kind of pattern, we get all the elements, and then it comes back and it shoots above 16,500, that's a signal. As far as I'm concerned, that will be a signal that is heading towards the previous high. It's going to exceed the previous high. It will basically be on an impulse wave that should carry it well above 20,000. Yes, well above 20,000. Okay, so this is the fourth charts that I had. Let's go and see the very next one that I prepared for you here. Let me just scroll down here. Okay, now we're going into more detail, and that is with the presentation of this chart. I hope I can bring it in a way that you can see everything. That's it. This one is taken from this website. This is the BITFINEX, yes, Bitfinex. Okay, and you can of course find it bitfinex.com, and this is basically the chart that I'm commenting at this point. It is the 720 minutes, that's the 12 hours. So every candlestick here stands for 12 hours, and you can see clearly the shape of a triangle. As far as I'm concerned, this is going down the road of delivering a triangle. Bitcoin is actually running now, it's already trading. Okay, so here's my my annotated chart. Okay, it's again the 720 minutes, and you can see the shape, the idealized shape that I would like to see traced by Bitcoin, paving the way for that surge fifth leg. Could be very, very interesting. Okay, let's go and see the next one that I prepared for you. That is the same chart, but on I think it's the 2-hour scale, if I'm not wrong. Let me see, I've got it here. No, that's the 3-hour scale. It's 180 minutes, 180 minutes, and that is the end of the third wave. So far we have witnessed A, with I think we had an A, B, C like that, and that's an A, that's a B, that's a C, that's a B, that's an A, that's a B, that's a C, that's a C. So we are looking at another movement of 3 legs that will take it towards, as I said, 16,000 or so, and then again drift lower. And you can see the scale, the time scale. Yeah, you should study the time scale to give you a feel as to how long each leg is supposed to take. Yes, there is nothing. We're not talking about engineering precision here, but just to have a feel, to have an idea what the market is doing. You can see that these 2 legs were very much similar in terms of the time scale. You can see that, and this one was a bit longer. I would imagine the D leg should be roughly what the C leg took, and then the final E leg would be slightly shorter perhaps, as it is going to go through the final stages of this triangle. Okay, so that's the sixth chart that I had for you, and we're going to go for the final one, which is right here, and that is on the hourly scale. So basically we have the hourly scale. Sorry, I'm trying to, that's it, that's what I wanted. So you saw the A, you saw the B, you saw the C, and look at the MACD. The MACD is telling us that there is momentum to push it higher. We have, in addition to that, an inverse head and shoulders here. Do you see that? That's the shoulder. That's the head. That's the shoulder, and that's another shoulder. We have a neckline running through here, and that is registering at the time that I took the print scan here. It was at 13,290. I believe it's actually a bit higher now. But in short, my point is that it's going to pop above this level. The trajectory, once it crosses above the inverse head and shoulders neckline, is easily going to shoot it back towards the 15,000 area around here. And we will see if it goes into a slight extension, that will essentially be UA. That's UB, 5 waves up towards 16,000. We'll finish the business of the D leg. Yeah, with me, the D leg. And if it finds resistance here and it's being pushed down, then you know we are most likely going for the final E leg, after which prepare for a massive surge in Bitcoin. There is something that I have to point out here. And let's see how we're going to do that. That is the daily scale now. there is a critical level here. There are basically two important levels. One is more critical than the other. The most critical level currently on the daily scale of Bitcoin is right here. It's this, where it touched bottom. And excuse me if I don't shoot for the very precise level, but it is around 10,750. It's basically the spike bottom that was hit here. And why it is so important? It is very important because right now we are working with a concept that says, listen, we are working with a fourth wave. So far, we have seen the A, we have seen the B, we think we have seen the C. It's coming up, and it looks like it's going to deliver that D, and coming down, giving us the E leg. That's perfect. But that means that this pattern does not allow Bitcoin to go and bottom under what I had it 10,750 or so, 10,700 area right here. It should not bottom under that, because if it does that, it cancels. Yeah, it cancels our pattern. It says this pattern is not the right pattern. We are working with the wrong thing. And then it opens a whole set of other options. It does not necessarily mean that Bitcoin is going to crash, as I said, to zero. It will mean that Bitcoin is going to go lower by quite a bit than 10,700. And it all depends, as far as I can see, what pattern will be drawn around here. If we end up having a triangle shape around here and Bitcoin drops under 10,700, there is still hope that it's going to come back very strong. Yes, quite possible. We will have to see what shape is going to be drawn by Bitcoin here in the next several trading days. Now, the next critical level is right here, is right at the top, that it's right around 16,000. I mentioned that figure, but again, excuse me if I don't hit the last digit here. But it's basically the spike that we take to be the B leg. Okay, popping above the B leg is important, especially if he does it right now. Because if he does it right now, it has not given us, he does it without really giving us all the ideal legs to complete the pattern of the triangle, and that would require reassessment of the wave count. Evidently, that would tend to take things onto the bullish side, of course, if Bitcoin doesn't have patience, just wants to run higher. But we would have to naturally revise the wave count that we are using. The idea of the pattern, the perfect textbook, yes, textbook pattern, may not be available to us. Okay, so that is so far with details. I want to go back and look at, let me see if I can get that first chart, the very first one. Yeah, it's right here. Now, for those of you who like to focus on the long term, there is a warning here that I would like to issue right away, and that is concerning the level that was achieved when it topped our very first big first wave. Okay, suppose Bitcoin goes up a bit, it does whatever, but at some point it comes, believe it or not, and it plunges under the level of the first wave that we've got here. That is almighty danger signal. That's extremely critical. It's just above 1,000. Yeah, I know it's very far away. Yeah, but I've got to point out to you, because you've got to picture to yourself that we have now, according to this wave count, we have now opened many legs. 1, 2, 1, 2. We have the giant 1, 2, which took more than a year, almost 2 years. The scale, the time scale, and the price scale of what I present here is suggesting that Bitcoin will be in an up move, in a strong up move for years to come. Yes. Yes, there is no guarantee. I'm not guaranteeing anything. I could be flat wrong. You must factor this into your analysis. I could be absolutely wrong. But if this structure that I'm showing you here stands the test of the live trading and it holds, then that is a projection that will take Bitcoin way above 20,000. Way above 20,000, for sure, for sure. Okay, there is another level here that you want to pay attention to is as it comes down. If we have, you remember the option of skipping this 1, 2? we jump, we have this one is 1, 2, 3, 4. Suppose Bitcoin gives us perfect fourth wave triangle and it jumps above 20,000. It goes way above 20,000. Let's say it goes to 30,000. It comes back. It comes back. It doesn't come back to 20,000, but it continues to plunge. It goes back and it plunges under this level. That's a mighty critical signal. Also very bad. Very bad. I don't remember off the top of my head what was that level, and I don't want to guess. We could go back and check. There is no big issue here. We can go back and check that level. Let's see if it's here. Yeah, it was around here. Yeah, but we can get it even more precise. Let's go here. No, it's not this one. Sorry. Let's try to go back here, and I'll try to highlight it and see if we can zoom in on that. But if you look a bit at your charts here, if you do a printout, it seems to me it's just this is 6 and this is 2 and I guess this is 4. So it looks to me like this is around 3. Yeah, it's around 3. So falling from above 30 to under 3, of course, it's a very long journey. It's a very long journey, but that would be critical. Yeah, that will be critical in terms of the big structure that I'm working with. Okay, so that's all for this session, introducing Bitcoin. I look forward to your comments. I hope that what I've shown you will be useful to some of you, and you could work with the concept of the triangle that I think is extremely likely. I mean, this is extremely likely in my opinion. This is basically what's going on. We have a triangle unfolding here, which is highly tradable. If you go to the 30 minutes, you can see what happened. Look, this is real time. It jumped above my neckline. Do you remember this? We just discussed it a few minutes ago. I told you shoulder, head, shoulder. The MACD was pointing, there is momentum, take it higher. Look where it is. It's a very nice move. It's more than 680 points. Nothing to be ashamed of. There is more coming. Okay, so that's all this time. Wishing you success in your trading. All the best. Bye now.